The person sitting next to you in this very moment has a completely different story and background to you. Today, we are able to stand here and share our voices and opinions. This is the benefit of what multiculturalism has provided for us, the ability to be open-minded. Growing up here in Bonn, my culture has always been a mix. Both my parents are from India, however, I was born in Brussels and have never really lived there. Thanks to my parents, I am privileged enough to be able to have the Indian culture integrated into my everyday life. For example, the food, the traditions, and especially dance. I've been doing the classical dance form Bharatanatyam for over 10 years now. And as seen in this picture, it has an individual 7-piece costume. Thankfully, I don't have to wear that every day. And I have the freedom to be able to wear jeans. Now, this might be very controversial, but here at BIS, we're not obligated to wear a formal dress code or to wear a uniform. I believe this allows us to truly express who we are as individuals, and not only does it give us a new perspective of fashion, but also acceptance to other cultures. When we first meet somebody, unconsciously we often create impressions of them and relate them to stereotypes depending on their looks. However, with the prominence of social media, I realized that this has changed a lot, especially among teenagers. For the first 3 years of my life, I grew up in Ethiopia. This exposed me to a very unique culture, and with that, the food. The very typical Ethiopian dish, dorwat, became my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This chicken stew is flavored with this Ethiopian spice named berber and blended with vegetables and eggs. My sisters and I became extremely obsessed with this dish, and when arriving in Bonn, we had found the Ethiopian restaurant. Immediately, we had encouraged our friends to come try the food, and they too had developed a liking. Our time in Ethiopia created such a connection with the cuisine, and we were able to share this with our friends here. These experiences we encounter have an effect on our mind. Our brain is an incredible complex system affected by every single thing we do. Neuroplasticity, also known as brain plasticity, is the brain's ability to change and adapt as a result of experience. There are two main types of neuroplasticity: structural plasticity and functional plasticity. Functional plasticity is the brain's ability to move functions from damaged areas to other undamaged areas, while structural plasticity is the brain's ability to physically change its structure as a result of learning. Now, all these experiences we encounter in multicultural environments have an effect on our insights too. The positive effects of multiculturalism are made extremely evident. The concept itself has grown immensely in the past years. A survey done in 2017 by the Statistics Center of Dubai showed that in the population of Dubai, which was roughly 3 million, was dominated by an Indian demographic, taking up almost 50%. Although it's in an Arab country, it's not dominated by Arabs themselves. This multiculturalism brings about a variety of cultures, traditions, religions, but most importantly, people. People who can offer new experiences and relationships. The people of Dubai can experience this diversity that may not have happened if not for multiculturalism. The opportunities that come with this are vast. First, increased creativity. A Harvard Business Review article done in 2016 showed that teams that had members from different cultures worked more creatively to solve problems. Why? Different backgrounds bring new ways of thinking and new methods of creativity. Another benefit would be speaking a native language. When I first came to BIS, my first friend was Italian, and I had a lot of comfort knowing that I had someone who could speak the same language as me when I came to a new school and a new country. Additionally, multicultural environments can incentivize people to learn new languages because you're exposed to a variety of new cultures. I'm sure when we all came to Germany, we were all very excited to learn German. Our society relies really heavily on cultures that are different to ours. It's what makes us open-minded, caring, and knowledgeable people, just like the IB learner profiles have so nicely stated. Yes. So what happens when this is not the case? Not everyone grows up in multicultural environments or is lucky enough to go to an international school. For example, a friend of ours went to a German school and then recently moved to a German boarding school with very minimal cultural diversity. At times, this environment can be extremely harmful because it's limiting your first-hand knowledge and your first-hand experiences with different cultures.
When she came back to visit and we brought her to the Ethiopian restaurant, she wasn't very open to trying the food and insisted on ordering fries because she said that the food looked strange. Non-multicultural environments can be extremely harmful to society. The limitation to one culture and no other can limit individuals from meeting new people and creating new experiences. It can often create a subconscious wall between anyone who is not a part of your ethnicity or your bubble.
As multiculturalism increases due to globalization, there are a number of controversial topics that are often debated, one of them being English being the dominant language. Now, a study was conducted stating that English is a language of business, government, and academia. Well, why is that? Well, we can go into a whole other speech about how British colonialism has affected the prevalence of English globally. However, what can we do about it now? Well, if we think about it, we go to international school where we speak English. Our faculty is from 39 different countries, but how many of those are English-speaking countries? It is projected that over the next few decades, Mandarin will exceed English. However, will it become the next global language? Another topic that is often debated. Well, we have to think about it. How hard is it for non-native speakers to learn Mandarin?
How hard is it for Mandarin speakers to learn English?
That's a very good fact. Now, we might be also wondering, will other languages be completely wiped out? This is something we all have to think about.
So to what extent is multiculturalism beneficial? At the end of the day, the benefits outweigh the negatives. Multiculturalism has the ability to create an environment of acceptability and open-mindedness. These attributes are becoming much more attractive as globalization increases. The way we see it is universities get thousands of applicants with 45 IB points. So what makes someone different? What sets someone apart? It's not only their ability to accept and adapt in a multitude of cultures, but it's their ability to flourish in multicultural environments, the ability to be open-minded.
The skills we develop lie in interacting with others and the experiences we encounter, making us who we are. It is what makes us attractive to jobs, to certain people, and is the core of our relationships. It makes us who we are to this very day. To an extreme end, unacceptance of multiculturalism can lead to highly disrupt situations. What happens when our views collide? What happens when everything we believe in is contrary to another party? If I believe eating animals is wrong, how do I live in peace with someone who eats steak in every meal? This is something our generation will have to deal with more in the future. As multiculturalism increases, so will diversity and so will conflicts. How will we maintain peace? How will we maintain open-mindedness?
We understand that not everyone is lucky enough to go to an international school where diversity is celebrated. But we see the development in social media and globalization making multiculturalism inevitable, so we must all be ready to keep an open mind.
This is our future vision. Thank you.